host of the Gridiron.
We finished up with the offensive grades, so now let's go to the defensive side of the ball. And finally, good old Mr. Okereke here, starting to find some get. I think he had 9 tackles, so good for him. I mean, there's been some of the times it's like I mean, you think of Okereke from with the Colts, the tackling machine, and when we got it like last year, dude, just a tackling machine, and then sometimes this year it's like you look at the box score, it's like Okereke, 4 tackles, huh? Yeah. Did he only play like 1 quarter or something? It's like, I mean, there must be how Bowen is using them, what he's asking them to do and stuff like that. It's almost like you're I don't know. You're taking away the best part of the one of the best parts of the D, So, but he had a good tackling game anyway this weekend, and of course he punched the ball out. But of course, see when you're lucky, that's a fumble. When you're not lucky, the quarterback gets his knee down about that much before the ball comes out. So the Cowboys, they got lucky. Of course, the Giants didn't get lucky, right? That one turnover would have taken away some points for the Cowboys and quite possibly made a different outcome of the football game. But once again, Giants didn't have any luck. Jenkins stayed able, coaching decisions destroyed the Giants offense. Yeah, I'll tell you what, boy, man, I'll tell you, it's like I was looking forward to him, when calling the plays and all that and everything. And it's almost kind of like, this is it? Really? I mean, I was expecting like all kinds of fancy stuff and it's nada, nothing. I mean, I was just like, very disappointing. Needs to go. Shane drafted the right players and Dable sabotaged the team. Well, I'll tell you what, they did do a good job this year in the draft. I mean, very, very good job. I mean, if we can duplicate that again next year, that would be fantastic. So, because I think we're supposed to have quite possibly a 4th round compensatory pick. So we might have hopefully a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, maybe 2 fourths. So if we can do what we did in last year's draft, in this upcoming draft, and we can add another 4 guys or 5 guys or so solid players to this roster, that would help. Plus, we have money, in free agency, and we can bring in a good player or 2. So, so we can certainly, add some players this year. That's for darn sure. Oh, let me share my screen here again here. Oh, let's see. Here we go. All right. I got to change the offense here. All right, hold on here. Go back. All right, let's go back to the defense here. Defensive side. There we go. All right. Brian Bernsey was number 1. Yeah. See, the Giants, I mean, the one of the problems, they had 7. They only, according to PFF, right, they had a grand total of 7 pressures. But, of course, they had no sacks, which didn't help at all. Right, they had 4 hits and 3 hurries, and they had 1 batted ball. So, but, I mean, here, PFF had them with 14 missed tackles. 14. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. A lot of guys had 2 missed tackles. I mean, just horrible. But Bernsey, all right, he led the whole team. He had 81.7 grade. Bobby Okereke came in there, right? He had 76.1. Adoree Jackson, wow, 75.8. His tackling was bad. You can tell the guys who missed tackles, right? Adoree Jackson got a 38. Kayvon had a 26. We got Andru Phillips with a 28. Pinnock with a 39. McFadden, he's always missing tackles, with a 30. Dexter Lawrence, he had a 29. Dane Belton with a 25. So we had some guys that had some bad tackling grades. So Kayvon was rated out of 70. He played 62 snaps. Cor'Dale Flott had a very good game. 74 snaps. Played almost the whole game. Looks like 75. Because Nubin, once again, looks like he played every snap. All right, so you got Nubin and Pinnock, the two safeties, played every snap. But Nubin had rated out of 67.1. Solid game. Nacho was in there for 34 snaps, and then he got the stinger, and he had to wind up leaving. He graded out 68.3. It's an Andru Phillips, graded out 66.9. Good, solid game, except, as I said, I mean, his tackling. What did he do here? He missed 2 tackles. He had 3, according to PFF, that is. That's all I'm going by. He had 3 tackles, 1 assisted tackle. So he had 4 tackles, and apparently, according to PFF, he missed 2 tackle attempts. So that's why his tackling grade was at 28.6. So that pulled this down. I mean, the Giants in the beginning of the game were missing tackles left and right. It was horrible. Jason Pinnock rated at 64. He was in there, as I said, like for all 75 snaps, Pinnock was in there. Tomon Fox, who they brought up, obviously, because of Azeez Ojulari going on the injury reserve, right? Let's see, 28 snaps, he graded at 63.2. Micah McFadden, 59 snaps, he graded out of 61.9. Once again, let's see, how many he missed? He missed 2 tackles. He's usually good for missing at least one or 2 tackles each week, Micah McFadden. Greg Stroman, 1 snap. He graded out of 60. Sexy Dexy was in there for 40 snaps, 59.6. DJ Davidson. Now you kind of wonder, like the 59.6. What I don't know is exactly when he got injured. Did he get injured? Did he come right out right away? Did he get injured and he tried to play a few more snaps with the injury? I don't know exactly. But this is one of his worst games at a 59.6. Actually, might be his worst. Let's say Dexter Lawrence. Is this his worst game of the year? Yeah. His worst game of the year was the other Dallas game, 61.4. But this one is 59.6. So Sexy's great overall PFF grade is an 89.9 for the season. Not quite a 90 because of this game here, the Dallas game where he got hurt. He graded out 59.6. That pulled him under a 90. So he played in 551 snaps for the season, and he graded out at 89.9 overall. So he wound up with 36 total pressures. They got him here for 10 sacks, but he actually had 9. But, so fantastic season for Sexy. Well worth the money. Well worth the money. Where we at here? DJ Davidson was in there for 10 snaps, and he got injured. He graded out 58.1. Darius Muasau was in there for 14 snaps. He graded out of 55.8. Dane Belton was in there for 15 snaps. It must have been when they had the 3 safety look, because then you had Belton, Nubin, and Pinnock in there at safety. So Belton was in there for 15 snaps, graded out 46.6. Elijah Chatman was in there for 47 snaps. He graded at 31.6. And Jordon Riley, 30 snaps, 31.3. Now you'll notice, obviously, that right here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 of the bottom 6 grades were the defensive linemen. So I mean, the defensive guys in the defensive line did not do a good job. Ergo, they wind up with obviously all their rushing yards, right? Daddle wound up with over 100 yards rushing. It was the first Cowboy in 26 games. They eclipsed the 100-yard mark, right? Of course, they did that against the Giants. So the Giants' run defense was absolutely horrible. And as you'll notice down here, Dexter Lawrence, DJ Davidson, Chatman, and Riley, 4 out of the bottom 6 grades for the Giants on defense. 4 of the bottom 6 were defensive linemen. Oh, yeah, Joe Shane didn't mess up the deal. Shane wanted to draft Aiden Hutch. Oh, yeah. Didn't want Tibbs. They they just got Thibodeaux because he was available. Remember, Kafka was the one calling the play. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep. Kafka called plays, led us to the playoffs, not Dable. Oh, yeah. Yep. Now, I mean, obviously, Daniel Jones was healthy. We had a healthy Saquon Barkley. Obviously, we didn't have Malik Neighbors. But in 2022, we didn't have, we didn't have Waller, who we had last season. So we had a little different players and all that and everything. But, just 2022 was a very nice season for the Giants. I mean, obviously we weren't part of the upper echelon because like the Eagles would beat the crap out of us. We got embarrassed in a couple games there, but it was a good season, real good season. Now it's gonna be interesting to see where Kafka winds up going because I can't see him staying around here. Much longer after this season's over with. I'm sure if he can get a job someplace else, I'm sure he'll wind up taking it. So then it'll be interesting to see if he becomes an offensive coordinator someplace, right? And if he calls plays, and let's see how he does. Be interesting to see. I'll tell you what, I mean, it's just I'm very disappointed with the way the offense, this season. I mean, like the play calling, and I thought like with Dable calling the plays, I thought stuff. I was expecting some real excitement, but certainly not seeing it. Certainly not seeing it.